All right, this one might be a little bit of an interesting one for some of you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, some of the thought process I go through. I literally just peruse through different websites and rankings and go through and browse where players stand. Like, I'll look up individual players all the time, and we're going into the bye week for the Bears, so I'm going to be doing a ton of this where I just look at useless information for hours on end, wasting my time. But sometimes I come up with some fun stuff. So for this one today, I came across PFF's team grades that I haven't looked at for a while through 6 weeks, and I decided it would be kind of fun to compare that with how my power rankings stack up. And we know, of course, PFF's grades don't mean everything, but it's a pretty good indicator of how a team is doing overall. Offense, defense, everything, how they rank and stack up. So I'm going to show you guys today where PFF's team grades are through 6 weeks, and I'm going to do it in a format that kind of compares them against my power rankings to this point. So I'll pull this on here. This is my power rankings, and I'm telling you guys, I get so much flack even from Bears fans who are drinking the Kool-Aid about the Packers. You've ranked the Packers too low. Guys, I know what I'm talking about when I talk about the Packers. They have unsustainable quarterback play, and they have a team that doesn't have a strong defense, but a really, really top tier. I'm talking top 3 head coach. So yes, that overcomes a lot, but it's not sustainable. When you face teams like the Bears, they're going to come across the buzzsaw. This is why I said in the beginning of the season, the Bears are going to sweep the Packers this year. I'm not even a bit concerned about it. I am 100% confident with that statement because how the Bears stack up with their defense against a fraudulent offense and a weak defense on the other side. It's going to be so much fun to absolutely obliterate the Packers this year. But what am I talking about? How can we even say that when we've lost the last 10 in a row? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's always fun to see that stuff. We can dive into it deeper, but I'm going to stack up where this ranks. So the Packers will be one that you'll see in here, and you can't tell everything, but the Packers are one that you can compare on here because they've played weak teams and their team grade is so low. It's different for someone like the Commanders, who maybe their grade's a little bit lower than I rank them in my power rankings. I have them ranked 6th in the power rankings, but they're going to be ranked a lot lower because they face some tougher teams, so they might not have as quality a grade. But really, the team grades out as a whole overall. We'll see after the end of the year how it really stands, but you can kind of gauge where things start after week 6-ish. You can kind of see where things are heading. So here's where I have the rankings right now on the bottom half, and then you go to the top half where I have I know I'm a little bit big here. Let me bring me down to size so you can kind of see a little bit more of it. So let's jump in. I've ranked it into 6 tiers according to where the grades fall. And the bottom tier is going to be those that fall. Let's see if I move to the other side if you can see a little bit more. There we go. So these are the teams that rank below a 65 overall team grade. You can see there at the bottom, tied for 31st, you've got the Titans and the Panthers that have a 60.9 grade. No shocker here. No one's going to be shocked by this. The Panthers and the Titans have both been rough this year. It's 30th, 62.9 grade for the Patriots, which isn't a shocker either. I've got them ranked 32nd. You can see my ranking to the left of the logo, and then in the big white, that's PFF's grade rank. Nothing shocking here because the Patriots have a decent defense, but as a team concept overall, they're not playing great. 29th, you've got the Raiders. I've got them ranked 27th, so nothing's crazy here so far. Like this bottom tier teams, like nothing is shocker here. I think a lot of people like me and other places have the Dolphins ranked a little bit higher than 28th where they are on PFF's grade because of the potential they have on the team, but they're really struggling without a quarterback. So that's pretty clear and obvious at this point right now. So the Dolphins are 28th on PFF's team ranking right now. So these are the ones below 65. We're going to go next between 65 and 70. And this is where you start to see a little bit of, you're going to see some things that might shock you a little bit, especially right where that is. I've got the Bills ranked 6th, and they have a 68.5 grade, and they're 23rd. So am I off? Is the entire national media pundits off? Are we overranking the Bills a little bit here? They did have one terrible week where Josh Allen went 9 for 30, but overall, not a bad team. And, they did just trade for Amari Cooper, so that should help them a little bit too. But that's a little bit of a shocker for me. I've got the Cowboys ranked higher than 27th, but they've struggled. They've had a rough year, and they really had a bad week last week against the Lions. And one terrible week can bring you down on this team grade. It can really bring the team grade down a lot. So, you got the Cowboys there at 27th. I have them at 18th. 26th is the Rams. I've got them at 24th. The Browns at 31st. They're 25th. So you can see these ones here. We'll go to the next tier, 70 to 75. So a couple shockers as we get in here. They've got the Bills with an overall grade of 68.5. And no, I'm not saying this is a bad thing by PFF. I'm saying it might be a little surprising for people to see the Bills aren't quite playing the best yet. But, you know, we are only 6 games into the season. We're a third of the way into the season. Next tier, 70 to 75. Nothing too shocking here for me. I think some Packers fans are going to be pissed about this. But it validates my ranking system. The Packers are really the 19th best graded team, a weak passing grade, a weak defensive grade. Packers fans won't like, oh, Jordan Love is amazing. No, his passing grade is actually pretty bad. This validates that he's one of the luckiest quarterbacks in the league, and he continues to get lucky every year. The game last week where he just hucked it into the corner of the end zone, or the corner of the before the end zone, and it was snagged up because the defender wasn't paying attention and looking. Any other defense in the league would have picked that ball off. It's just absolutely bizarre to me. So if you're a Packers fan, you probably won't like my channel because I'm going to expose Jordan Love. And I've already said, I guarantee you the Packers will lose. This is the streak right now. This next game is where the Packers will lose 4 of their next 5 games and have a losing record after they face heading into Thanksgiving. That's going to happen. Checkbox it, mark it, come back here, put your comment down. I welcome it because I guarantee it. Chargers, I have them at 13th only because you have to have 7 AFC teams in my rankings. I've said they should be a little bit lower. 70.7 grade. Jets at 20th, Packers at 19th. Commanders at 18th was a little surprising to me, but they do give up a lot of points, but their offense is so high-powered, so probably not quite the balanced team you need to be a top-tier team. So it's interesting to see the Commanders there at 18th. The Cardinals at 17th. They've been in on most games they've played, so that's not too shocking. A little higher than I thought. Bengals at 16th. That's not a shocker either. Saints, who I'm hiding right here. Saints, sorry, I'm out of the way. 21st on my rankings. They're 15th here. They played some tight games, so that's not a shocker. Broncos are right where I had them. We'll move into the next tier. Tier number 5 between 75 and 80, I believe. Yep. You've got the Eagles at 13, the Bears right where I have them ranked. So those who are saying I'm a Bears homer, it falls right in line with where the Bears stand. I was higher on the Colts to start the year. They've struggled, so I brought them down a little bit, but they're right there, 17th in my ranking. I wanted to have them a little higher, but I feel like I'm being biased. I do like the Colts a little bit. 78.3. Vikings, who have the second in my rankings because they're undefeated, are 10th overall. A little bit surprising to me. And then a bigger surprise is the Seahawks, who I call a fraud because they had 3 huge games and they have played weaker opponents to start the year. Now they've really mellowed off and come back to earth. They're at 9th. We get into tier 2. This is the second to top tier, 80 to 85 grades. You got the Buccaneers. You got the Chiefs at 7th. You got the Texans at 3rd. The Falcons at 5th with an 81.5 grade. That was a little surprising to me. I didn't expect them to be a lot lower than that. I've got them at 10th, and I think that's right where they are, so it's not crazy. And then the Steelers at 8th. And then you get to your top tier teams, and here you go. The Niners, even though they struggled to start the year, have an 89.6 grade. Poor quarterback play a little bit in my mind so far, but really a solid overall team, and everyone knows that. The Ravens, who started rough as well, really solid overall team, and the Lions as well. So a little bit surprising on some of these, but here's the overall PFF grades. I'll take me off for a second. PFF grades through 6 weeks. So here's 1 through 31, so you can see them. This is a screenshot from PFF. You can see where all the teams stand on their overall team grades. This is not broken down offense, defense. This is overall team grades. And nothing crazy surprising, but it does validate some of my rankings. I don't use this for my rankings. I do my rankings independently, but a little bit interesting. Let me know what you guys think. Is this interesting to you guys? I think it's fascinating, but this is the stuff I go through all the time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Till next time, da Bears.